Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk about a particular statement that I need you to watch out for. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. The most dangerous addiction is the approval of people who don't matter. The most dangerous addiction is the approval of people who don't matter. The most dangerous addiction you can ever get yourself addicted to is the approval of people who don't matter. Why is it dangerous? Because it hijacks your focus. It distorts your value system. It messes up with your principles, and it keeps you chasing validation from sources that will never ever fulfill you. See, addiction to approval is not like any other addictions, all right? It doesn't show up with obvious symptoms. You cannot really easily say that, oh, this guy is addicted like that, unless you are psychologically inclined like I am. So you won't get physical withdrawals, you won't see warning labels. Instead, it creeps in quietly. It starts with small decisions like agreeing with someone when you don't actually agree with them just because you are trying to avoid conflict. You posting something online not because it is meaningful to you, but because you know it will get likes, it will go viral and all that. It's like changing your plans, your priorities, or even your personality to fit into someone else's expectations. Do you understand me? So those are the little signs that you might see and say, oh, this person or I am addicted to approval. And because you know it, and before you know it, you're hooked. You're living not for yourself, but for the applause and the validation of other people. Here's the kicker. The people whose approval you are chasing, let me ask you this. Most times, do you think they really matter? They often don't even matter. So, we need to clarify something. When I say people who don't matter, I'm not saying they are worthless, okay? Everyone has inherent worth, inherent value as a human being. But not everyone has the right to influence your decisions, your self-worth, or your identity. No, not everyone has that right. There are some few examples that I want you to take away today so that you understand and you'll be able to identify people who don't matter. The faceless critics, some people online are so anonymous. You cannot really know who they are, but they criticize you nonetheless. These are people on social media or even in your wider circle who judge you from afar, but they have no real investment in your life. They have no real stake in your destiny. They have no real investment in your life at all. They are called the faceless critics. Those people don't matter. We have the habitual naysayers. These are the ones who criticize everything. No matter you bring on their table, they have something bad, they will just criticize it. Not because they care. No, not because they care, but because it is their own default setting. They just have to criticize something. It's not really because they want the best for you. No, they just have to say something. They just have to criticize it. You need to identify those people. They don't matter. And we have the comparers, all right? These are the people who measure your worth based on arbitrary standards. They use your job to measure your worth, your house to measure your worth, your relationships to measure your worth without understanding where you're coming from. They don't even know about you. They don't know about your journey. They just compare you. Those people don't matter. So why are we so eager to win the approval of these people? Why do we let their opinions to carry so much weight? See, there is a cost that is associated to chasing approval. That's the truth that I want you to know today. Approval addiction is not harmless, all right? It comes with a steep price. It comes at a cost. The first cost that I believe you pay is you lose your authenticity. Every time you mold yourself to fit someone else's expectations, you chip away at who you really are. And over time, you might not even recognize yourself anymore because you keep chipping away at who you really are. You lose your authenticity. That is the price to pay for always chasing approval. You waste your energy also. Chasing approval is exhausting. All right, it is a never-ending cycle of trying, failing, and trying again. And no matter how much approval you get, it is never enough. It is not enough. You waste your energy. Energy is a price you pay when you keep chasing approval. Also, you stall your own growth. You will not grow as fast as you should when you are focused on pleasing other people. You are not focused on becoming the best version of yourself, because you cannot focus on becoming the best version of yourself and at the same time be focused on pleasing other people. See, approval addiction keeps you stuck in a loop of external validation instead of internal growth, and that is what you need to watch out for, or else you pay the price of your growth. Your growth becomes the price you pay because you keep seeking and chasing approval. You let others control you. You release control to other people. That is another price you pay. I think it is the most dangerous part of approval addiction. It is that it gives other people power over your life, and that is what I need you to watch out for. It gives people too much access to you, and overall it gives them power over your life. Their opinions become your compass. They steer you away from your own purpose. At the root of approval addiction is the fear of rejection. We have the fear of being misunderstood. We have the fear of not being enough. From a very young age, we are conditioned to seek approval. See, as children, we learn that good behavior gets us praise and bad behavior gets us scolded. So over time, this external validation becomes a substitute for internal self-worth. But here's the thing. Approval is fleeting, all right? It perishes. It's conditional. And it is impossible for you to please everyone. So how do you now break free? How do you break free? Here are some few tips that I know will help you to reclaim your power. Number one, define your own values. The first step is to break free is knowing what matters to you. What are your core values? What kind of person do you want to be? When you are very clear on your values, it is easier to filter out opinions that don't align with those values. You stop living reactively and you start living intentionally. Number two, you shift your focus inward. Instead of asking, what will people think of me? Start asking, what do I think about myself? Do you approve of your own choices? If yes, go ahead and do it. Are you proud of the way you are living your life? If yes, go ahead and do it. See, self-approval is far more fulfilling than external approval because it comes from a place of authenticity. It comes from a place of truthfulness. And also you set boundaries. Not everyone's opinions deserve your attention. Learn to set boundaries with people who drain your energy or undermine your confidence. This might mean limiting your time on social media, stepping away from toxic relationships, or simply choosing not to engage with negativity. Set boundaries. You also have to now learn how to practice self-validation. Start building the habit of validating yourself. Celebrate your wins. Even if no one else does, give yourself grace when you make mistakes. Remind yourself of your worth regardless of external feedback. Also, accept that not everyone will like you. This might be the hardest step, but it's also the most freeing, it's the most liberating. No matter how kind, talented, or successful you are, there will always be people who don't like you, okay? And that is very okay. That is okay. That's cool. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinion. It is determined by how you show up. It is determined by how you treat other people. It is determined by how you live your truth. Do you understand me? That is what I want you to go and do. And this is the Mind Shift challenge that I want to give you today. Today, I want you to try something. Pay attention to the moments when you catch yourself seeking approval. And ask yourself this. Does this person's opinion truly matter? Are they living a life I respect and I want to emulate? Does their approval align with my value system? If the answer is no, then let it go. Instead, focus on building self-approval, because at the end of the day, reflect on how these shifts make you feel. Notice the freedom that comes from letting go of the need to please everyone. So you need to remember this. The most dangerous addiction is the approval of other people who don't matter. Here's the good news. You don't have to stay addicted. You can break free today. You can reclaim your power today, and you can start living a life